Oh, my major think when I face it, so that's Jonah, Buhari, and good luck. One of my cases in Namudia by Yaman Bad. Yaboa out in Yamasi, in society. 1st of April, it happens to be the birthday of my dear one, Mahamichi. Simple. Happy birthday to you. Well, Brasso said, Agata, I was in Kamika Senkahu. Medawasipi, Agata. I know it now. Okay, Seth Combating. Now he's not walking naked or appear naked before mine. Say, Aquaba, know what he's saying? Official Panso.
I feel said near Tim Cobb.
Bibi Aboko.
They
say the whole appointments and out I walk fool like a man by any naked being. And I still have naked and food.
Oh no, you're not a fool. Some I'm gonna catch him say. Tembia main dress. Okay. The minimum double frame. Okay. They say me Nambia my Badwam.
No passing there.
And then the Mekuni Munti or say.
Okay.
We are fully.
Okay. Well, yes, says come what TV and then I shall do TV. I'm in cardia back control. A lot of documentaries are running over the years. But last one, locked and forgotten, prison for documentary okoye na ehunsunsun so very positive. The entire program from the another it is so called Tamale prisons so called sorry. Na minim say na ka say bia motu na mo judge for na ko Ghana almost all the judges do na hwe documentary no chief justice so ni ono akasa din komo akasa bibia na ubu atan so wa ko hu prison ona hu di obeka matters about remand titu remand titu na ni nyina mredi na asama akopi otamali
na enye no nkwampo say judges so mo Ghana nyina no region bia wo bia no ya hye omo se omo nko prison ho region bia wo bia prison ho ehye enti tamale se me dru ho no na che se judges omo akọ remand for no ho na no the meeting se na ya asefem omo hu dru omo pa ayi for wa for so akọ Upper West omo so akọ Kofredi akọ Accra akọ say omo ye voter beko obia be region bia obia wo ye judge and magistrate court wo no prisoner wo ho no ye show chief justice shese omo nko no so ma sha se ekọ ene prison for no twetwe nkomo e ka che omo de ompeso mo ye fa ho na wo ma medi omo chi no ene omo akọ no be say Kofredi say ewura ho no ebi sunye Kofredi prisons ewura ho no bi musun na when we said documentary na me no ma nko Kofredi entimi ko whole last 2 weeks me ne justice for all for no e ho na e call yom kodi nkofo asma etimi yi nipa 18 omo da remand e bia da 9 years 8 years be 5 years ko inform nko court omu hom lawyer chi akwan omu CID chi akwan to mu dem sa okwa say justice for all no a high court na etina say except court pepe are judges from the office of the chief justice na omoye sadie no tie sinkunya say court pepe e di wasem your lawyer would defend the human rights lawyers omo ho mu defend the court pepe nti ye frɛ wasem na yabo kwadu no na judge akasa na lawyer akasa na state attorney akasa to my aya nti bi ho aye say o madem omo human right ya abuse omo human right because obi ho a na boni a wodi no nka ye de ni tuma de ni betum fie miensa nke convict
based on boni
a wodi no obi wan ka e bia wakowi ade nti nka ye o years 3 years nso ye hwa no adem 8 years
abroso
ai ndi na asem abroso mfie num nti omo hwe we na mus enke esi ayi ntiko nti onipa 18 the judge say no mo koy no from the eastern region nyom ne kudi asem no ye so mo nkohwe se de hositie ye hwa obi musun buso mo say enti nko wonim say sei na hatia kombe mande ko forsa msi debi
I see
msi debi na me ho so me fidi awe ne baaye me call ho no kofu di awe ne baaye be na watching last week na me da ho me de broni me pie na film intime ho me nya infection on my chest because enkai wo ho no na re ho me na me intime ho hwe intime baaye me hospital bed ye ho intime mpo na makwa yare no mo dem
All right, but says come watching one is a short documentary. What I say, maybe documentary be actual, but probably have an experience. Share with us, and what you say, be prison there, just an inch, just by grace, you are an inch away from getting into that place. Adom be keke, and now that's what do lie, mono. Into the Nisa and Comono, in your Bema says, come watching so I say, on the we're prison, how doing that, and now the media would this, you know, over here, Ghana judge penny pano, I'm an Aquenia, I'm on a judge of 42 she had in Como. I share the documentary, you or Archer, a year. Nina and say, or per se, Bia, a didn't pay me a quarter to more remand, you know, said the workers here. We are imposing here, born quite dumpark as well before Crana, Abi and Cabadefias in Femians. A baby chin, why am fair was him, why whom CID, who lawyer Chilakoi, in Phoebe do Phoebe and Kuno, now or down to. Wasako tie justice for all, Jimmy, no only real, a prison, I hold on, you know, it was him. Now, if they be waiting, share your experience. And I said the other catches says come watching on 0302-211-701 up to 4. 0302-211-701 up to 4. No, say you will
last week you concern me, and justice for all. Nyame Adom ye piano, ye no, na nipa 23. And now
1823.
1823. Hey, where the little number power? Na nipa 23 na Nyame Adom or move free ho ye do masem ya grantee bear 29 bill na che say eh ni gisem me re ho mu me na me hu dwiri me Nyame Adom ma me interview mu bi no nsawom Nyame Adom ye di o masem ho o mokoye e prison pinfo ni age pa say documentary no ama ye nya BBC ebia ahoche wo ho no eso beti omunyaye edi Christmas we edi Easter we next week Chief Justice na nkasa etutu ne na akwakusi ye ni nyina Justice for all no so kwatena sibi Justice for all program no ewie de ni be chere tamale nyina na enra me copy tamale enye omunti kra na me koi me ne health minister eko tamale teaching hospital dialysis center bi o maye ne MRI scan CT center bi o maye na yokoda na dinti one me ne koye na yewie na ekwan kakra o ma metim yakọ prison akobisa so mo te say na me vrem no ase oni so ka che
wow
me vrem no ma wabo prison for no I'm say nyame nsha wo dwuma pa wodi e de waso ate nyame nsha so ka bia maye na awosian gume me de oma mehu mo kra se so mo ina hwe documentary no omo ina hwe na wo information che prison for na ene won so wo ho pa
so wo information che
prison for na wo ho pa
no mo da ba bia ya bo mo ba no e de information no
mo akasa no ma radio tebia da roma so etunim me wi aho no
memo ato aso ba e bia na rock so di assembly bre rock ma che na apology say set kwa mbati nti o
me fa jo bejo so na me wa me pata kunya we so na me tia sa yubodi mogadi ona bu samse anti na ye na set as papa ene moa
David ti komo ayedi no men kofa ebia komo ayedi no ye enu anmo prison no kwa enu be ma set kwa boatin nam so na me nam ne so o man Kenya ene anije ni prepare your edigmo na hodi kofa ho to papa ya ma cha po di say papa ya ma cha po di say
ba jo ya mi aduma ya ba
yeti o papa
be ba jo ya mi aduma ya ba
Bajo say
wadaluma me kata fa program yon
yanko so
say bede mano ai be danasi se waya de na yankopon aka na kuma na otumi di sa tima wi otumi de ko sa prison house na otumi di amanfo omo ha free da no ma we aseda eniwe anambe shan kran se amane mu na be mu da bibia bi si na kwan bia mama ne nkai on kai ne rade na on setting na on for boldness and so enlanti na on fancy we are nyina dia wo nyina obi ayede ehwem na dem pipe pop anyway and so ede eternity.
All right, okay. Yeah, that's it. Karim, good morning. Upon to say. Karim, good morning. Upon to say. Good, it's you, Karim.
My Professor Jamba for Namatia Michama Yagan. na mabose kwame buate mabona faso ni djuma pa moye o man no ye adjuma ma ye hunu ne ma wo ye ni so na me de prison wo no se de nipa no remana o mo kwa ye ndi o mo atem no enya pakun nti wa ba ya ni so obedru buna afo so a ye be hunu de ekoso na tenka o mo timi bua na so mo yi o mo firiwa no man na sai bone de ekoso no na de o mo ogumu a ebe ye better maye so obi a onye bone na mo di na akotum bi o prosecution na wu bi a ye se bi a mo nyi no na wadasu demo a ye better chief justice mapa wa sta ni papa yi o mo nton koso na o mo nye nti o man yi
Karim, say Sebe, Martin, I put to say, Yet you, Sebe. Yet you.
I'm doing TV. And I made media group in the Molam Mountains, Ghana mine. The mission, area Berman said, kind of what and so, and I made a look, I let so up that, Chief Justice. Let that a moment to influence what if we say, if we probably the Koswa, every little bit to this Solitia. And so, in a couple of boys, said, yeah, they could be able to I had my justice. No, he said, it could have been out of court, or be a while. Not a mobile. They may come up with the cat, there's a baby, they could be quick. The lawyer, I mean, because you this feel of brown anchor justice, and I did not to bless anybody. Oh, Mamaka, Miss Solitia, and the lawyer, and say, a young mother, yes, and so that be right. I'm trying to, okay, I'll take you to run. I need a giant Nipana, and Lena, I said, and you're being at the Nipana the Laba. But that court, almost there 7 times, Nipako didn't buy a court, Lena. Yeah, I said to court, the court is all trying to make a baby because you're not somebody in Yana. Nipana and Kata in the bed now, the now, justice, Mr. Onsan Court. Now, a brand new Panabia, better than a lawyer, and say, no, so we can't take him. I'm proud of you to take him. Adom, I would not only that man.
All right, that's it. Kwame, I'm a good morning. I'm saying.
Good morning, Omani. Baby.
Hello.
Good morning.
Get you.
Omani, you're finally here, and I'm paying my power, the Mao. Or my gun of way, because Bongo High now be 18. And if I go over Yana the case, Yana, a bit papa so he come up 14 Nana or the Beco prison. And Yakupa can come now, Babu and Chamber, big Mariana Ghana for Yakupon Canon, and go for Muchi by now be brave, so a few more personal about at the Boissy. Until you are about him by the end of the day, by the end of the year. And go for
right. Okay, yeah, that's it. Techi, you know, they do chat to Techi. Good morning, upon saying.
Yeah, but you say,
Boko, Techi, to you.
Hey, the Catapa, prison after me. Make a Danasi, the Wayano, the Danasi, the sunset. Nipper be now got a prison, a bra, prison no more than Omu, ja, echo, and I buy no so flow. Any Omun Kasa, and Fa, and Fadia, Ivana Omuda prison. Jimmy Papa is saying, Jacoda prison, why I live for Omun Fenacen, only Diana, Diamond and Jagger, so I got never so I Bono.
All right, unfortunately, line every cricket, that's it, says come what you that's it, and I'm out to, but it can't be a chase. After sending Panya, you know, probably some of them what they what to lead to. Okay.
You know, because teaching commercial message them said the name is Seco. Okay. Into ye interest.
All right. Join news with here. Says come what in key in terms of documentaries. And maybe the other Baba de Bibriu, Nabaso body also the Bibri, and then I see say now next time don't appear before Omaini naked, and the Chief Justice naked. Okay. So there see. Before transfer,
aim I have is that there will be peace. There should be peace in the country. If Buhari, as he promised, will bring peace to the nation, let him rule. But he should understand that the Nigerian people, especially we Nigerians, as we are here, we are not happy. If they rule our country very well, we shall be in our country. But we are here because the ruling governments are not doing well. And he has been in the government before. We did not have his results. He persisted in coming back to the government. Now that he persisted, we want to see the results of his coming back. So he should prove himself as a president, not just being there because he wants to be there. I don't believe I am APC or I am PDP. What I believe is in a leader who can lead the youths. There's a lot of Nigerians here roasting in Ghana streets, and I don't think that is the best.
In everything, we give thanks and praises for Goodluck himself to accept that he has been defeated. Personally, I wanted Goodluck, Jonathan, to come back in his second tenure. Another way, I want a leader that will lead Nigerians to a better tomorrow. Not just a leader that will carry us where we are not supposed to be.
This issue, this Buhari becoming the president of Nigeria, can also prove Buhari that he doesn't have anything in hand concerning all this Boko Haram of a team, because people, majority of people, the whole Nigerian nation, they are even accusing Buhari becoming the member and a head of the Boko Haram people. But I believe that with this now, that everything concerning Boko Haram will stop in Nigeria.
I must commend the INEC for conducting such a credible and transparent election. It's not an easy one. These have been the toughest election in Nigeria so far, and I'm happy about how the election procedures went. Yes, at the moment, Nigerians need change, and the strategy the APC used in their campaign also makes the Nigerians to vote for them, because Nigerians need change. So we are watching and we will see how the change will come.
I pray this we should teach Africa, we Africans. I would say, let me say it's Africa. This is to teach Africa. It's not only Nigeria. This is a lesson to all the whole Africa. So anytime any African nation, any nation are conducting the election, listen to teach them a lesson. Don't vote because of this person is from this side or this party is from this side. Let's vote. Let everybody come out and say this mind and vote according to normal votes, please.
Let Buhari. The major things we want Buhari to do is Buhari to search the error that Nigeria have and put that stop to their error. Let Buhari help youth, poor people. So we in this Ghana will come back to our country.
I'm very proud and happy tonight that APC is leading, because we don't want someone that is going to, demolish our country for us. We are so many people in that country. We live our life, we love ourselves in the country, but I've never seen it before in my life, a president in a seat, and people slaughtering themselves. That is a lot of troubling we have in our country.
Are you saying that Goodluck Jonathan is destroying your country?
We can say it's destroying the country because, a person in a seat, and you can't handle people in your country, and yourself a president. So we want you out.
I'm so happy about it. Jonathan is not strong to lead my country.
Why do you say so?
Because he's not doing his work.
What work are you expecting of him that he hasn't delivered?
He should try to stop the Boko Haram or things like that, you get. So I'm happy for Buhari coming into the seat, because he has sworn that every month he will pay the citizens, and I pray it should be so.
Buhari's victory brings a new dimension. First, the resolution of the age-long Niger Delta crisis. It brings a new dimension to the battle against Boko Haram, but it also brings a new dimension to corruption, and particularly military corruption. If you remember, General Buhari has made it quite clear that he thought that the manner in which the war against Boko Haram has been prosecuted was, if not criminal, was something that he would never accept, and that he would probe the billions of dollars that had been given to the military, to prosecute the war and the disastrous, effects of that war. So certainly there will be some security uncertainties in the months ahead. First, with respect to restructuring the military and the security forces as a whole. It's long overdue, and we need Nigeria to take its place among the Committee of Nations as a powerful police and troop contributing country that can manage its own domestic security affairs as competently as possible. Transitional periods are always very difficult for new government.
Yes.
In terms of security, in terms of getting control over the leaders of government, in terms of ensuring that its influence and power are felt in every corner of the country. So, be that as it may, I think the nature of the relationship between Ghana and Nigeria is like small brother and big brother. Because of President Buhari's history of discipline, of control, of no-nonsense attitude to his business, we must be careful that too many corrupt people with stolen money don't see Ghana as their first port of call. That will not augur well for the relationship.
Okay, so Yasaba, with the Adom RCP, and that's set come what in RCP contributions and the their bread, Badwam Jumedia, and then 1st of April 2015, your cost of that trading upon your coupon as about Kayane, is I match about 3 a.m. Very close friend of mine, baby or Mama Nantia Kuduno, Namia Mamaka Bana, my later, ma, Abia, Bomiko, the April food, a cordial bank cause out. You're careful about it. They will be on for one and Tianco. You can say upper danger west, say Ukushi will be all. Well, the brass, see any painful income 1760. Your text message line if I brain. Na Yanjibre and King Kai and Fama. Oko now Kujina Alhaj the Bokratana, managing editor, Alaji Baturi, needs no introduction. Our hand say Alaji Akwaba, that's so short notice. Waiting me about that kind of home, big game so. Yeah, no, I know, Alaji Batiri. Yes, back in the days. Alaji and a farm for Radio Gold, those times, no. And also saw inside the mirror Hot FM. And I say, now wait me a call Copano intino, Igusuka Kraka, intino, that's it. Alaji, that's it. So, still, we see a crack, so I'll be doing the same. Well, Sasso na Benjamin I so upper in West, on also machine with new Homa this year, I warn them. So, an interesting discussion about text message number 1760. But the person I contribute on is another PPP for some Biomutuja, NACOB arrest Indum boys. Quickly, why we think such messy, if that was the case. The Progressive People's Party has expressed disgust at the manhandling of 2 of its youthful members by officials of the Narcotics Control Board. The 2, Divine Nkrumah and Richard Niyama, National Youth Coordinator and Volunteers Coordinator respectively, were arrested and detained Saturday evening at the Kotka International Airport by NACOP officials. For more than 3 hours, they were held captive by the officials. Their phones were seized in the process, rendering them incommunicado with the rest of the world. This was when they returned to the country from a trip to South Africa where they attended a conference. Divine, who narrated his ordeal, said moments after disembarking from the South African Airways flight around 9:15 p.m., he was approached by 2 plainclothes men who only said they were officials of NACOP without any identification cards. According to him, he was taken out of the queue on the tarmac and sent to a holding area where an extensive search was conducted into his luggage, but nothing incriminating was found in it. Divine Nkrumah said his passport was subsequently seized by men who refused to show any form of identification to prove their claim as officials of NACOP, adding that they said the passport was a state property when he demanded to know why they were asking for it. At this point, Divine said he was asked one of the gentlemen who he later got to know as Vincent Esiedu to hand over his and his colleagues' luggage if they had completed the search. But that was not the end of the story. According to him, he was taken to a washroom where he was undressed and a sample of his urine taken for reasons he could not fathom. After that, the PPP youth leader narrated. They didn't tell me anything. Then they marched me to another isolated room, re-scanned, and then they took me to another room again for another scan. I arrived at 9:15 p.m. and as at 11:30 p.m., nobody has said anything to me or given any reason whatsoever to why I was still under detention there. This seemed to have compelled his colleague, Ni Ama, to confront the supposed NACOP officials and inquire from them why they were still detaining his friend without cause. But that appeared not to have gone down well with officials who, according to Divine Nkrumah, took his colleague through the same molestation with his passports seized whilst they searched through his luggage. At exactly 11:55 p.m., the PPP youth leader said they were released to go without any form of explanation or apology for what they had been taken through, but their passports were given back to them. Divine disclosed that they threatened that they were going to blacklist us, that when we travel next time, we will be taken through rigorous scrutiny. He claimed that they were therefore in talks with the legal team of the party to decide on what line of action to take. And it goes on and on and on. But there's another story. The same paper says, what baffled them most was the fact that the two young men were easily identified by supposed NACOP officials in the midst of lots of people in queue and demanded for their party cars before allowing them to go. He then queried rhetorically, we then asked, when did party card become a traveling document in Ghana? And the PPP concludes here that we cannot live in a state similar to the revolutionary junta that we once had in our political dispensation. Indeed, this is a constitutional error, and we expect NACOP to be a respecter of the law in Ghana. That was Brew Hammond speaking. But quickly, if that is what is if that is the position of NACOP and how Oma go through security operations, normally we have had cause to talk about it, not to complain, but to raise issues about probably Omo modus operandi, if that is the case.
Your mind, Medase, Michia, a tear for America, especially Upper Danger, West 4. It's unfortunate if it is true, because so far I'm saying the other people see Muna, what kind of a TB, Yente from the other side, and more often than not, no, you see, I intend almost side because they are people ready. So I can't almost side of the story that my public know why I behave the way I behave. But if and you must say so, constitutional error more, a hardware be brave. The decline, a nipana a coche and rantiano, per the story no, they did not identify themselves, which is wrong.
But say now it's becoming a norm. Say,
that is wrong. It means say be able to make sure baby and claim to be from any of the security agencies or wherever. Now or young corner within is that how I say manage and as a running yama? You see, into the Ministry of Interior, the minister should sit up because you may say ba affect yina or mining a good mass if such stories go out and people read about it. Meanwhile, this is a country we claim say we are on an investment drive. If you can treat your own citizens this way, the foreigner, also
based on suspicion, the fact that man from identity and ABI intelligence, say this is it.
Yes, I'm not against it. If it is intelligence in any civilized society, I must know who you are. Otherwise, the maker. Imagine say me a criminal be. Me peutie track where my dear. Me share abonte so na me say oh me fi national security and I say me fi wherever. Na ma so me say o man ni di machi bra betina ka mu ni enko. Nanti all you have to do is to sit in my car, comply. Next udi machi ya baby am pesa me do ko bia na me do ko. In this era sa na pesa e bu o me ya.
Of security
no. It is wrong. Simple a sipe before you move on. You move on. I'm not saying say omuni rights or be picking based on intelligence or picking whatever. But nipa na wo be picking me no. Mami who you are. After all, I said make you out there FBI knew said then you about the first now obe flash is na identity. At least then
you are comfortable.
You are comfortable. So when you say state security agencies ni be na appeal. Until once at least military days ni kwa ni bi omo pick wa betumi ayira easily. At least under constitutional rule there when you say be na for na abe family. You de me echo be na office. And I say whoever na abe family no you de me call this place or that place. Na so bi be hia onim nipa no baby I know abe fa odo akwa kwehye baby without or legal rep bia ni ho obi ni ho ni ye kwa interview ye kwa search ye kwa seize your passport ye kwa carry out a urine test and medical examination on my person without me bia eno dey hadwen nti yesre say the appropriate agencies and especially the Minister of Interior and Crawford almost set up because you must say ba omo mofra no eye nioma ede animguase ebeka the ministry and for that matter the whole country.
Right, Alaji.
Yeah, Omani. First of all, I have difficulties with this story. So here's story now. In some baby are much raw, and I say, Omudi Tuja, and ma asemukra nika edin kakra. First of all, there was no arrest. And so her story was said there was an arrest. Nobody was arrested. If you are being investigated, and then just say arrested. And from what you read, between 9:15, 9:30 up to 11:30, they were not arrested. They were not charged. Until you see that there is a slant, or there is a slant in the story. Now the whole thing is on my baby because that should be it will blow in our face. Obia woni din wo man. Obia woni din. Na says ya obia ye body and I say obi and the investigation now no akoka ni amani yo kom PPP men. The people are Ghanaians, they have their own passport, they have their own identity. Obia ukoduku ni pakra say oh MPP ni NDC chairman PPP say no yeah if you say the ebinimu in the end dachi it will blow in our face. Me enne semikoe bibia I have a name. Say if I'm under any investigation they shouldn't tag me to a political sir yeah na security agencies na ejumon di maomu because for example opposition party be nipedimia now officer or Babeka something contrary to what the person claimed, he will be tagged as the government man. Meanwhile, he doesn't even support the ruling party. And most of them, they don't even come out. So here's this year. Normal. Of course, some inconveniences might have been caused. Sometimes why? After 9/11, the world has changed. After 9/11, the world has, even the US, the heartbeat of democracy now, Mr. Kano, they have the Patriot Act that allows the state to do anything to detain without any trial. So it's agencies no year on Mujuma. Can you imagine? Say plane at the more than maybe 100 grand by. Why would they just identify only 2 people? Sabi, Mr. Eka. PPP, so Obianim say, MPP. MPP nipa crowd because they are the strongest and the largest opposition harassment. Based on some intelligence report on Mwanya. So they had to isolate these 2 people to investigate them. Unfortunately, and then within 2 hours they were left to go on. I think that we should all see this as, even though but what I say is beyond a.
But like the security operatives, you think that they should arrest or detain somebody without identifying who they are?
That is what you have. That's why I told you that I have a problem because the moment with the party coloration at the 2-story more, I have a difficulty. Who can say Dipani arrest him? And from their own report, there's no arrest. Of course, when you are being investigated, You don't have your freedom, but it is not an arrest.
But once you are detained and you don't have your freedom,
I'm saying that you are being investigated. You understand me? You are being investigated. You have not been charged. You have not been arrested. And this is done common everywhere. If you say, and then terrorism need a drug. Two key issues are we are seeing now, we are all struggling to grapple with terrorism and drugs. Sebi, omo teacher woman say, do they look like drug dealers? Na yele who would have believed that those people could have been drug dealers? Even presidents and some presidents operate AIDS cry, actually more with drugs. And we might not know. And like he rightly pointed out, and now we used to support here, sometimes the security agents, they don't want to come out to comment. But it is not in isolation. And yes, some NCB that. Sometimes we go through this kind of inconvenience. Like I said, one time we go Sudan. We drew Ethiopia. And even I'm saying Ethiopia quite standard. Uber Papua. And someone go through a friend say, check now with Papua now go to a belt, conveyor belt, no and can you imagine this embarrassment? And mommy, me and ye bibia say Ghana there a good anymore, that be security they say worldwide. Okay. And you know, because of collaboration in Nemanema, sometimes you need information that they got from. I'm not saying those people are guilty. I cannot sit here and say so. But ABA, more intelligence from Babia or free, say these people could have say. So they will try to investigate them. Right. Eventually, so what kind of story? They were allowed to go after only 2 hours of delay. Sometimes they go through West. They say, me can say Bibia or say also, but we shouldn't overblown it. Okay. And me, near Hamini say, oh my, Obia, Bibia to Obia, Ned, no, yet in Dina Kobata Amani. Political party. And when we do that, we are breaking state institutions. And we all know, so institutions don't break here. And yet, and NDC no power. NDC will not be in power forever. It will come to the turn of NDC. There be an American say 23 years after constitutional rule. Yenina Nipa 23 years they wadu aware. I was saying ye free that narrow perspective of looking at partisan politics. NDC, MPP. Near NDC ni bia enye, near MPP ni bia uko bisa NDC ni ose enye. We should grow 23 years. Yeah, matured. Yeah, Ghana Eda come first and foremost. And like what happened in Nigeria, I believe that we'll be talking about it. Oh, yeah, don't know a year for the country. Okay. Not a coup. A coup should be second. Right. What am I saying? Right. When we do that, Ochinabi MPP superpower. Then the same story, Baba. Mikai, one Rawlings was in power. MPP for Kansen be no somebody do say MPP President Kufoni MPP ba power no. Some be face them. Among them including this criticism say ministers also. So Bakaya and a petrol boy day. You understand? HMP by no. They saw that say Antumwa or mine who collapse. Mr. President Kufoni said he even apologized. Say, Onuko himself and take one car. And that's why I'm saying that after NDC and 8 years, MPP and 8 years, and MPP let's move 6 years, we should learn lessons, both parties and their supporters in Mina. We should all learn lessons. So let us look at issues based on their merits and demerits, not based on your money you could na head on. Yes, okay. We are not building a nation. All right, quickly, you try Hombra Yaba. Maybe Nigeria, say Nipanum analysts not also. We know Nigeria, their cost no one ABC or Ghana. We know there be free TV man. Calculations in the analysts na be. O agent trends Fabre. I will just force it on agent trend to try. Yakwaba, yaba try and come. We are back from Aziz, London, watching us live to Alhaji Baturi. Please extend my regards to my brother Alhaji Baturi. Tell him I'm watching him live in London, and I'll plead with him to lose a little bit of weight. Aziz, or London or whatever. Okay, so Alhaji, that's it to you. My cousin that lucky about for us, I saw question. Now on the Jimmy Abraham, my main count said for so from so number is 0243201244
or 0277-465855. Bogosu Golden Hotel, Edinburgh, Bogosu Easter Rock Show, High Life legend Papa Youngson of Joyce Blessing, the Gospel Queen, ably supported by Masters International Band. Bogosu Golden Hotel new site, 7 p.m. Kopemiso Wabebre, paying for 15 Ghana cedi, in Kolansia 10 Ghana cedi. Nyane, Nensa, Doko, Namso, Honomonia Busha, for Namra, na Mobajimoni, na Mundia Sa Kwanson Koso. When I said, I say, Bogosu Golden Hotel, Obia or Dine Sa Anso na Bogosu Golden Restaurant, Adriani Papa, Efi. 1760, our text message that I mean, say, Alaji Baturi Waha, Sa Anso the name for Benjamin Iron, so Atnasia, yet to Adjuni, said that we are Ghana, Bitima Konka, and Afa into my pie fra. A lot of your text messages, Anna Baba Misha, Alaji Baturi, Nigeria, our brothers and our sisters, now they are through with their elections. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who doubles as ECOWAS chairman, had a corollary message, ACO. So others have followed suit. Nana Adodan Kwanso, had an idea at twice, a dorsal, ni part of the Ashasim. But all the background, Nana Utieti, in Seven Nipe Canal, any lessons to be learnt? If he said the ACO, so Nigeria, it was also be or Ghana, or any other issue.
Oh, thank you. Certainly, there are so many lessons to be learnt. And there a lot of lessons, both opposition and ruling party. But first of all, my main born Nigeria for Maso, the whole Nigerian citizens, particularly the incumbent president and the opposition leader Buhari, and AFESO, Omo Electoral Commission, and Omo Security Service, Omo Yade. In fact, I would hear analysis before the election, especially after the change of date to 28 Noah. Nobody gave Nigeria a dog chance. Uti analysts Obia fis election no cry likely Mbaso BBC. But fortunately, Nigerians like Ghanaians in 2000. We were there before in 2000. Maybe we were there. Unfortunately, in Ghana, we are always in the lead. Here in Nigeria, we have, similar events and a year ecoso, from independence through to coup d'etats, through to return to civilian regimes and so on. Until you will never be brave, a share. In 2000, Ghana was here. Nani brave said Ghana was going to go down, and now Nigeria could go down. Fortunately, the people of Nigeria, Omachi said no. And democracy after 16, 18 years, and 17 years, or more access or money beer. Of course, there were pockets of disturbances, and normal in elections, especially in third world countries. But overall, it was fairly free, it was fairly fair, it was transparent, and the winner has been announced. And Senate Electoral Commission member out. The incumbent had called the president-elect to congratulate him. That even and tension about form. And to make us a good exercise and a credit to the whole of Africans, because especially outsiders, because outsiders are on continent here. Almost Africa, there is nothing good that comes out of Africa. And they were all expecting the usual post-election violence. But good luck, why are they? The way you managed to concede defeat, that has diffused any tensions because the party general secretary now, he was trying to start some trouble. Say, hey, in CCBA, because easy, omuye bias, tribal, and so on. But with the concessional statement from the president, but kudos to them. You were talking about any lessons for Ghana. Yes, there are lessons both to the ruling party, the opposition party, and we Ghanaians. The first lesson we should learn is that election, and I say about to enye war. Obia Yankupo Ashen say, oh, but di akonya no owinia ye nyina o say nyina e di nechi enye on na de ne ho ko hye o enyankopon because of here Buhari and the normal circumstances everyone was say how could he have become a president. This was the same person our undemocratic leader, head of state of that country some years back, I think 83 or thereabout. So Chagariku. And he was very, he was very ruthless. But almost he was a ruthless dictator. But and the same Nigerians who rejected Buhari, because Mikai said when he was removed, only number 2, Lieutenant General Idi Agbon. So I had 2 people. Omar said they at that time said it's not every leader who must be corrupt. But then the iron fist especially the high-handedness. Ama people thought that these people no ruthless dictators and they are far more. But I can tell you that their record is impeccable as far as corruption is concerned. Almost 30-something years down the line, Nigerian for no asa to Obama sa nipano. Because yes, nature say like this the trees either Omoka say because Yankwana on Sisana. People have changed their minds and maybe for good reasons. But you see, the biggest lesson here for me is for the ruling governments and the ruling parties. So, from a paper, right from January last year, 2014, my 30-year analysis be on this election. We compare between Ghana and Nigeria. One of them make sure and he say, good luck, sneezes, JM catches cold. If you Google it, you will see that story. And in that story, it predicted good luck was on his way out. This was way back 15 months ago. We wrote a series. Why? So when you to me, Sebi, and you to me, and now what unyansa, and now what hodi, and I say, offer, intinama, what you mean to me. Sebi, a kuma and a boy, Emma, ubenya to me. And if you want to sustain that power, you need to carry majority. Want me for be along. Majority. But majority. But over here, good luck. Since after winning second term election, first term, so obe twa we better do at the end so and also starting the first term. Over here in another Kosovo, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you say Papa way he's going to crash. To the extent that Nipa that made it possible for you, influencer Obasanjo Kra, sabi owning publicly na moko. So Petumia, Sabi, do you have to come out and do this? Only a party for even governors were resigning to join opposition. MPs were resigning. And yet this man remained stubborn, was not making any effort. Niri have become so powerful and arrogant. Ombunipa. So all these were pointers. I actually say, yes, you may be the nice looking man, maybe, so be a seven home affair, or be a man for a penasem, but leadership, you need certain extra characters and a character to be a good leader. And he lacked it. He lacked it. So we're also drawing our sitting president here the attention. Say niye koso Nigeria no. Well here everybody means we wrote severally. We talked about the political angle, we talked about the economic, the corruption, the honest perception of corruption, and the arrogance of power. We have documented it.
In this administration of what you are saying, why is it that prevalent in this current administration? Because here they are caused to the extent that the Badwam the crown, they are caused to the how
the Badwam the 80 cars were donated. So 80 cars. posh cars were donated.
But if you look at that,
where iPad, no.
If you look at those comparisons, clearly this administration under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama are falling into that trap. And that's why Ufiso are falling into that trap.
It is only one aspect now, boy. Some of the aspects, can a party unity. Initially, President Mahama, after winning the election 2012, I'm sorry, 2013. So between 2013 to 2014, early 2014, he was having problem with his party based on appointment. To the extent that among for big Ekata Wakofo, I said, you are in Ghana. I'm a former majority leader, and I'm now majority leader. But out, Ebekan Sembia said the president cannot be rich. What am I saying? Now, he was only echoing the sentiments of the rank and file. None of any Ekudra or Mecca. But he was making a statement on behalf of the majority of the NDC people.
But those that argue from there, okay, we watch answer. Yeah. But
So you see, what was happening in PDP between Good Luck and party gurus was also happening in Ghana here around that time. Uber economic performance at that time we were also having the same challenges. Fortunately for Mahama and the NDC, those problems now, 2013, 2014, and then for example, party unity and then here, and they were you more free, and I do not free.
The party man
I take you over. What do I say? He has resolved that problem.
But no one should show a mamma. So impression and perception, a hard dream. Am I buying it?
A hard dream, then I'm almost here to me who a president.
But you call for an all-inclusive president, then or chairman for why is your worry?
Obianka said, men, Obi.
So why the description that our who are
call here those managing the president at that time? No, excuse me, sir, most of them were not NDC people, were not known to be NDC people, and that is very serious. Fortunately, like I was saying, this issue has been tackled. The other issue, the arrogance of power. Some ministers and our party appointed functionaries, Omofi said, and I say, I'm a post, and no, they don't even want to pick their calls from their constituents and so on. This one, and then who said, and also, Ed perform. And what has happened in Nigeria will be a lesson to most of the government appointees. Good Luck shouldn't have lost this election because he has everything going for him as far as incumbency was concerned. But onuna a prepared way and they will lose election.
All right.
We also have the opposition that were determined and that united, that made conscious effort to win power. Can we say the same of our opposition in Ghana? MPP. We cannot say the same of MPP today. So it is. Oh, you don't need to ask me this question, Omar. You know it.
How?
And now you know it better than me because you sit here every day.
I knew said before be over 12 about Malino. That was issues about.
Mr. Omar, don't let us pretend. And that is what caused Good Luck any PDP for elections.
So as NPP stands
they
now,
were pretending as if, no problem, all is well. Don't let us do that. Let us say it as it is. I just told you about the ruling government's weaknesses or some of the weaknesses that could cause its election. And I'm telling you what could also prevent opposition in Ghana from even winning the election.
Prescription is that no unity.
But that's what I'm saying. It is no secret. And now, the MPP is going to hold a major meeting, national executive meeting. Why? They just held one a week ago or two. Why are they going to hold another one? Now, whatever decision they will arrive at today could affect or improve their chances. Because I'm taking major decisions the last next meeting. And it has become unpopular with the rank and file of the party. Even long before the NEC decision, after Tamale Congress, the party is divided. We have so-called pro-Akufo-Addo, who is the candidate, and then anti-Akufo-Addo. This is not me who is saying it. You have chairman of the party, Bugina Abuni Wainum, coming out, Antifa-Tinumu, accusing managers of the opposition party, the national chairman, the national general secretary, and co, of working to undermine the candidate. And the candidate has not come out to even call for calm. And I said, call for people to be careful. They will not admit it publicly, but me and you, we are analysts. What do I say? We are analysts. So there is a big lesson from Nigeria for both the ruling NDC party and government, and then for the MPP, because opposition Buhari was able to come because, look, Yekoyi running mate for Buhari, it became a big problem. Where are you going to pick him from?
Okay, you know, I bet to some commercial, but I'm sure this analysis is above Hukakra. As it stands now, more plainly, you don't want to admit that challenges and then there's unity or disaffection with more party. More pretending, if all is well there, then probably it might cost you 2016. We're citing good examples. Flag bearer according to me by Bontin, Mbeka say, okay, let's call for calm, everybody follow line, let us move in oneness, because to me, and yepe Ghana and culture yepe Ghana development yepe.
Omani say Minia Alaji, ni views and ebeye yastic a dibesusu MPP, ebi a jinani baby I pesi a I'm not sure saying your party in cry beti. Can't see a party in the cry. It is not obit much not dream. As an individual or rise or better not dream. Abba said you know not dream chair.
But if it sinks into the current happening
but
in the party.
I'm saying and yet or no not dream and a ye big naso and make it even a single decision.
But the question,
as far as the MPP is concerned.
What
is wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
It's wrong because
a political party to be meeting from time to time. What is wrong with that? What is news about a political party holding meetings?
Avoidable mistakes.
What do you call avoidable mistakes? There are avoidable mistakes. Look, Ghana, we are suffering because of President Mahama. Onoaji Tumu said, the major challenge, ni how power, and it's to me making decisions. Meanwhile, leadership is about decision making. Tukonya penny, or my penny with President Mahama, ni how power say, own to me making decisions. Then issue, and you can say, oh, one, say, oh, man, a better tia pansam. On the other hand, if you have another political party and a leadership, it will make decisions from time to time. It could be on daily basis, it could be on weekly basis, monthly basis, or whatever. See, I could make one decision about a week or two ago. Now it is a party, no, as I could share bill, perhaps to make another decision now. Why should that be news?
But
again, leadership is about decision making, okay, moving your people forward from wherever they are to another point. No, it's all about decision making. It could be per second, it could be per minute, it could be per whatever. So what has been the flag bearers challenge? What has this? Per Alaji's analysis. And I'm saying we are not, as a party, we are not going to use Alaji's views. And yet they decide what we should do. Yet can't call ni anamontuno. And your Alaji views. Or you're entitled to his views as a human being. But you also as a party, no. Also you're entitled to your views. Any decisions if you see a bit me make here, a bema impuntuo.
Nana is a potential president, just like Moti said, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, as I say, will take a swift decision on certain things to curb whatever interpretations and perception. There is the next challenge, especially MPP for being more gaga on the airwaves, paying for them, party paying for them. Nipe bi omo ye boni no ma be hye nanado achi se na ye wonanado side na wenu mutata what has been Nane's position? What has been Nane's position?
Please.
On matters of this sort?
Me pese me hu example, then I will answer it. Why in the kudidi nkofo atema omkudi nana omko hide
they see when people come be agenda 2020 agenda party nyoma hodo
hide behind Nanado. Is that what you are
most
saying?
Of them what has been happening.
Please.
Any factor.
Please. Wakasa 20 minutes. Please. To begin with, let me step back a bit into this issue about PPP boys here. The main issue I need to discuss was how our national security agencies go about arresting people or inviting people to a. Nobody, and as I say, I'm against investigating an ICBC. That was not the issue. My beef was they did not identify themselves. So, man, otherwise, obi hunu bia betumi akochi obi akoshe baby in the name of national security. That is the issue I'm making. But looks as if be allergy anti no. Who be that question? He still avoided it. Oh, said acquire your fast so chink of no was the issue and I can't wasem. Otherwise, you see allergy yet yes, obi
said the people didn't identify themselves. Then why didn't they ignore them?
The story.
If they didn't identify, why didn't they ignore them?
Story naturally said the people did not identify themselves.
That is why I was
because it is dangerous.
Alaji raises another issue. If indeed there was no identification, why didn't the people resist? Because what my own standards no. Yes. The standard is that you cannot come and arrest me.
Your story no what present as it is no as
discuss it. Now the other option. The other option was that it is not standard.
That is what I'm saying, sir. It is not proper. Otherwise, can you imagine the sin I be because and what goes on? Meanwhile, why should we not avoid that?
Just identify.
Identify yourself, as it is done in all civilized societies. Identify yourself. Say why identify on or resist, then I will not follow you. Now perhaps I create a sin over there. And not meanwhile, he says that they were not arrested. Who deny any pan freedom for even a minute? I'll pay will lock this door here. What I say, young claims more in prison here now. Anytime I want to move, no, I should be able to move freely to wherever I want to go.
Not when
who deny me that right now? For that period now, what deny me that right?
Arrest.
That period now, what deny me the freedom to move? Say me peno, debe na wayemeno. That period no. I'm not saying it's illegal. It's not. The security agencies might have that right to. But at least that period now, deny me so my right to move as I want. I'm under your eye. So the mention. Meanwhile, I'm sure say party no and so because they ones who can't. People no demanded their party cards, for which reason they even queried say are they now to transfer a party card.
Maybe they claim to be party officials.
Don't make maybe.
But you are
talking about us
what has appeared in the
you are also sitting here. That's why I told you
that is what has been reported, and that is what we are discussing.
The reportage, I have a problem with the reportage.
You express that. You express that.
Yes, to the extent that you have a problem, we restrict ourselves to what has been reported to us. Otherwise, there was no arrest.
Because there's a conditional clause always. I will use it if says
yes. It is wrong. It almost don't know what business did they even have to be asking for this. Said the Bayer party said Bebemo and I said what? These people should be professional. Now come to Nigeria. Lessons a woman was in Nigeria. Similarities a woman. Papa Yabedi Adesi, so a former military leader of Nigeria. Unfortunately for us as a country, you come and penny for a declining now, so for penny for a declining now. Ketesi Rollins. A free fire champion, a kufu, or munina, or bomuna to your come. Until you need the benefit of such old and as a former leaders, no, military leaders need be unlike Nigeria. They taught it wise to allow them to be around. If for nothing at all, I'm saying, "Fifi, your baby, no." Ubon says, "I contribute and I say, I send be never bar. To me, you see as part of delegations to other countries." So, no munya infasofi or more experience no. Yen ye kunye die nyina. Coincidentally, former soldiers no emu mienu etumi abeye civilian friends Obasanjo. And then this man, Buhari also win CCA. Now, okay, the course of Nigeria, Jonathan Elusia. Similarity womb kakra has one, mismanagement and corruption of the Nigerian economy. So, mismanagement of course of Nigerian, any corruption and a course of Nigerian. Same thing, if not worse, and of course of Ghana.
Ghana.
Oh yes. Under President Mahama, this country has been mismanaged to the extent to say, Omaya Obefa grew at 14% GDP. And Kokohe, Omonenam about 4% with oil.
But you admit there are two challenges.
When they created such challenges, they created it themselves. Challenges been over 3. And in any case, Amamuno, Mama to say on the issue that this is yours a deal. That's not what leadership is about.
But you also admit to say in the Obeto, also are Western Ghanaians plight, especially with matters relating to corruption, Otuanamo.
And I'm over and I'm over also so a man for we are or mine sick we. Now, crab because me sacco discano bar. Now, perhaps a bomb is a mass Utuanamo. To begin with, no, would she share Numa ya and Cassesi can court to begin with. So, Kenko. Then, apart from mismanagement, incompetence, and corruption, Nigerian security issue, Boko Haram issue, was an issue. For all these years, Jonathan allowed Boko Haram to have their way until all close into elections and move in to the sense a day before the election, there was a news and said even Boko Haram for headquarters crowd capture. Nigerians first said, no, you can't deceive us. Put me my money and Crawford call a how at a team for 2, 3, 4 years. Now we do election now. And so Otia Namoa also go to me 2 from day 1. What the back Ghana, we having similar thing. Yeah, the enemy might not be a armed security issue, but by way of doing so, it's a major security issue. In terms of amount for EU, amount for whatever problems, amount for Luso Munyuma, amount for Nina.
And you are not okay with President Danamo?
So from 2012 up to now, 3 years.
But you are not still satisfied?
Eguso Koso, and my president, and the minister, person say, by end of year, that is year called 2016 election year, no more, and maybe a problem be resolved. You think Ghanaians are not smart enough, like our Nigerian counterparts, to read through? Say, Anamoa president A2CCI, bisa who say, Mudiahi na country in 2012.
The deliberate action.
A Mudiahi na president to me to say, badge in Wakofaba, say whatever, so the Baba, Selamubia, a home she say, in we pay. Sana morning, a Mudiahi na country in 2012. Scott to talk iPass, ne cars, is it not the same cars? Will be a coach 80.
How do you suggest to say President better to cars? There's
a
party in Iran and our party.
It is a president that Myanmar Omeya Desumu 3 years. At the 4th year, now because say election year no and Obeso Kanyana. Ghana for will teach him a lesson. In any case, Omina is almost every year on in Adom for Jonathan. Omina by no presidents ni as vice presidents. Presidents ni and no take you over. Take you over and no a 4 term. And both of them, because I don't know, say your mom renting on BD president and answer whatever, didn't you know? I mismanage on my economy. And to me, two and papa be with power now. I'm out for the demand. So now my Ghana for Kosa or how at a team for all these years. Now because it's an election year, no, and Aberson Kanya Diamama for now. What is the guarantee? Say you're 2 Abamawa. After that, no, you will send us back into the same problem.
So your belief is that clearly there's going to be a change 2016?
There's going to be a change. The wind of change, is blowing all over.
Reason being?
It's blowing all these incompetent leaders now away. And Mahama will go because of his incompetence. Not because of Nigeria for DNA NTO, but because of the incompetence, mismanagement, corruption, how are they amount for Akwakushimu? So, These are the issues I'm for the Atuaba. So where did this MPP going for a meeting and this things come in?
But we have a
meeting and now. And say, hey, MPP is a solid team, and where is the Sidun Ketia? He's talking about unity. Where is the Sidun Ketia? Before we go election, the Sidun Ketia can say, Juan be never bad he will advise himself, whatever. And Pampas uncle for the band, where is he?
I see.
The ones all powerful Sidun Ketia. How many times they can win this? This year party, said an outcome. Before I ever quack 3 years, Freddie say, you could hear presidential
the chairman of the general secretary.
And yes, and like any political party we don't come from one person, 1 man thousand. Party just say amount for different ideas.
They are already allergic and 70 deepin wounds now.
Assembly deepin wounds. We've seen all this before. This is MPP for you. Yeah, your party, right from those days, and to say, they had just one person that found a party to Okasu Bianda now those days. Even now, NDC crowd have the guts to call him the backing dog. Even now. So the return. Omukro don't come back for on what train a party. How much I said not draining in Susie BBS now party in the fapping. And the crowd they can call his bluff. Not here now. Nipa to be different places near three partners as a group. Every time Ubenya people are a support we support we. But no so interested like the playing of organ. You don't need all white key organ. Not me about the
blacks.
You don't need all black keys organ. Not me about there.
The mix up.
Anytime beyond there will be black keys, there will be white keys. You put the two together, you get the best of melody.
I see.
It is a hand MPP mutie. Yeah, because we see. But once you hear a leader, you say yes. Now we have the organ now. Both the black keys and the white keys, we come together, we share ideas, and give us the best of melody. And this is what is going on now.
Okay, a lot of your text messages, Saba.
Nobody should deceive himself because the people have different opinions. Solid party in opposition.
Alaji, so your Tribune description said him now was here, Pachana, it's been diffused here.
No, you know what? It's
been diffused here.
Because only the Obi Sam question be say Nigerian air course any lessons for Ghana.
Yeah.
Michelle said because there are so many lessons for Ghana, both the incumbent party and government, and then the opposition. And I told you the two sides. What starting workers say, one say only they were plenty. It's a opposition there.
No problem.
Oh, no problem. Win 2016. And I'm happy. I'm happy. They should behave that way. Someone said, I showed you the weakness of the government in power. That we should learn from the Nigerian example. And then the opposition, what is also likely. Because Buhari, Kawan to me, Amfa, Biakuye, and unity number. I told you when they were selecting their enemy, it was a hell. But he managed to put his feet down and brought everybody on board. That is one of the reasons why they won the election. It's not about good luck mismanaging the country.
So the election will not be about John Mahama, the perception of corruption.
John Mahama, Eddie, and which I've Ghana for. On one chrome, one call, no call, open to a Juma. Eddie Brancroft, they are seeing it. Go and see. Enemy can show. Listen, there is no constituency, no district in Ghana that is not benefiting from this.
These are everyday thing. Every government.
What do I say? Yes,
everyday thing.
People, for example, if you provide water for a community that for many years
they were lacking.
Oh, the truth of the matter is, your mom will mismanage, The people are seeing what the government is doing.
Nothing.
What do I say? The people are seeing, they are feeling it. Let's take this particular junior secondary school projects. Oh yeah. By election time, about 100 and
senior secondary school.
Senior secondary school. By election time, about over 123 would have been completed. All the now say it doesn't matter. And I is mismanaging.
MP with my little common fund, but me establish a secondary school. Free secondary school. Me with my little 5% of the common fund. Now, now, who goes to secondary
school? Now what you say oh mismanaging and I say all was say he's mismanaging and I say nipa na hear you akon krom quota and kwan kra ni wona quota and on wo hu yi out me telephone kra mobile phone connectivity e dey akodu ni ko internet facility abedu no you sit here on TV in Accra because Accra have bibia one.
It's like the policy that brought in say they spoke against it.
Let them continue to deliver. Let them continue to let them continue this is what the people are going to do. And what people in Accra and then largely in Kumasi they take things for granted. No, the people are going to see it. What do I say? People are going to feel it. They see it. And M1, Omutia now see Sikana Makwaji Omuji there. Who are parliamentarian? Say Abaya Koji Sikana want me and fire near also here now. What have you people done, opposition?
What do we do?
You have
what we are doing now. We pointing it out to the people because Parliament don't debate issue numbers. You see, you approve loan number where we. It is a STS. Yeah. What debate Parliament? You approve. But now we asking you, where are the buildings?
And it says salon there now.
All this projects on Kenya 76 billion. Projects no way.
You see,
Omnani budget. Omnani budget of projects of Kabum. It was about 4 billion. It has 72 billion.
Then Franklin Kujoka said. Excuse me, media to Sebi. Say your MPs are idiots, and we are idiots because you are there to check the executive.
Post-mortem,
not post-mortem, not post-mortem, not post-mortem. There are real assurance committee of Parliament.
What do they do?
Tracking and assurance committee.
What do they do?
You can even call the president to Parliament.
He will come and tell you the stories, and that is it. After all the general report to ground the background, post-mortem. We should have stopped him from mismanaging
too much
because the opposition because Kasaban with Disika mismanage Ghana, and the question then I will ask is like what you're asking. What is then your relevance as a position of minority in Parliament?
Opposition, and it's a point in the house.
Propaganda. Because the Kabia Aban Bia Beko Koju Amanani. A Parliament,
yes.
It is a scandal, you saw. Parliament will coin Obefaso. Actually, says Skaway, Omodiscan.
Because you actually said, Scaba out now for Parliament is 76 billion. Your friend minister account for it. What you account for just about 4.7 billion. And you have 72 billion account. Where is it?
They have issues with figure, more than 2 projects. NDC projects, MPP has had calls to raise issues about figure. Osha, they say, Kubasi port, in Kenya, and Kwabia, $29 million.
$29 million. Airport lights, Ethiopia. Mama construct a whole new airport at $15 million.
Master, they will have problems with everything the government of the day does. So, but Kaya, Kaswa interchange. Yeah, baby. They have not even seen the drawing. Omo flag bearer, but outside, the figure is outrageous. Omwa MP, our civil engineer. Omwa MP from Eastern Region, our and on because there was nothing wrong with the figure. If you don't know, and your interchange can or Kaswa. Yeah, overheads, passes, and the bridges, and the schools, and the markets, count. When we know you don't ask. No, about because Marco, you know,
the bottom line is per the documents of Parliament, 76 billion they only account for about 4 billion.
Say, my dear to say the NDC as a party and government, have a lesson to learn from the defeat of good luck. Only they will say MPP don't have anything to learn.
Okay, yeah, talk about some of your text messages. Kudos to Nigerians for peaceful elections, and it's clear now that 70-year-old man can win elections. Kofi Boga, Vision 29 or Dahona Divya. If NDC continue to pay workers only 3 months out of any number of months, then Nigeria's issue is waiting. From Kwesi Asanko. And please, MPP party agents in Jomoro should vote for. Okay, so that's what I'm here ready to read here. And it's a long time we receive your lotto numbers to Anope said, come back to the lotto number 1823. I did not bring paragliding to Kou and Ghana in order to turn Kou into a huge market for sex and alcoholic beverages during Easter. This Easter, let the authorities ensure that decency and order prevail in Kou. Raymond Osafuja and Kou Tafredeba. Nigerian election results has been an opportunity for Nanado to win the 2016 elections. From Wisdom Bamboy Omaine, it's high time the MPP prepares Nanado's ex-gratia for what transpired in Nigeria has nothing to do with Ghana, because Nigerians voted for Buhari, who was an army general, who is strong, courageous, and tall, likewise Nanado. Good morning to all Adom family. I'm highly disappointed in you about the comment you passed on Asamoah lawyer Maurice Ampao's issue. Maurice Ampao said Asamoah should have reported a missing person to the police, but Asamoah did not do the right constitutional demand. Wasn't lawyer Maurice Ampao right to have said Asamoah knew the whereabouts of his friend Castro? Please give us a break. Asamoah has no good case. I can bet with my 2 balls. Jarito Enche. If good luck did not win in Nigeria, MPP shouldn't use that for granted, take that for granted in Ghana, and Mahama will win for NDC and Ghana. Ability from Dam and Kona. But Maurice Ampao is right to have said Asamoah knew the whereabouts of his good friend Castro. Please give us a break. Asamoah has no case. I can bet. Okay, so that's another one getting through here. And this one also says that the umbrella of Nigeria is gone. The same thing umbrella of Ghana too will go to the ditch. Birds of the same feathers, they flock together. Parkway Genesis from Elmina. Oh my, what happened in Nigeria? The same thing could happen in Ghana if and only the single spine will be suspended. From Joe Kumase, tell them the vehicle that took good luck to his village is coming from Mahama and the NDC in 2016. Kofi was Dan Suman. I don't know what to do. We have a 1760 text message line. We are just about wrapping up. Alaji Baturi, Anafi, Honorable Benjamin Ayem. 2 of the issues. Whether Alaji want to talk about the controversial policies as National Council meets today, or the promise by Woyomi and his team to pay the 51.2 million Ghana cedi by close of the year.
Well, I think that's a welcome news because we are living in a country that is governed by rule of law. The Supreme Court has ruled, say, scanning a franco and persona, a pure scan man. On so yet to say, once the highest court of the land rule, he has no choice. And yes, the state will have to take all measures to retrieve the money, that to include confiscating his assets and properties and so on, which could be more devastating. Welcome news. I think that is what Ghanaians are all yearning for. So that money that was alleged not to have been paid properly, no, it should be returned to the state coffers. And once Onoyetum say that money he will refund, no, I think that Ghana is the winner in this case.
Okay.
As for the criminal case, it didn't succeed. And it couldn't have succeeded even though the state has made appeal. Because you say, why you man for 2 and I want for Takashi and I could scano or the process or follow due process and I would scano. Albeit it later turned out say he didn't deserve that money. Says here on one way to say he obeyed the Supreme Court law judgment, say he should refund the money.
Okay.
And let me make this particular issue clear. The Supreme Court ruled on the based on, I think, Article 88, is it 88, International Transaction 81, it is based on that, say, whatever transaction that was purported to have been entered between Wyoming and the government of at the time, or whoever, is null and void. Based on that, no, it is not a recognized contract.
Okay.
That is what we should understand. So paying somebody based on the nullity of agreement is illegal.
Right.
And that is why Wyoming too has no choice than to arrange to with the state to refund the money, because certainly Sikano, it is not sitting there. When he was paid the money, he could have used some to defray certain debts and certain expenses, and he has to gather himself to raise money to refund. And I think that it's a welcome news.
All right. Oh.
Am I here? I'm saying, what you mean issue there? Said the Supreme Court Judge Baku Kayano, a extension of the Create, Loot, and Share Brigade and this for a form where no more de ebo or may chrono. And also, let me tell you something. At the time I this kind of it was the equivalent of $37 million. Fanny said, or this canon take a two baby crackeke. One fine yashi crana. By the end of the year, no pursue Tiano. Scale converted by even an exchange rate of about 4 by that time. You will get about 148 million Ghana cedis. So he moved 51, he end up having over 100 million cool money. The Ghana is a loser. Ghana is a loser. So it's parts of them kind of create, loot, and share brigade. So the other time I buy an American about this youth employment program. Yeah, document a whole multimedia move for me. This is a copy of the document, page 101. Youth can't you here for? Coaching a man for how to ride motorcycles. And each person.
Youth in transportation services.
Yes.
Equip youth with the technical skills in the use of maintenance of motorcycles, as well as equip such persons to operate as self-employed persons.
Exactly.
Motorcycle.
They use, yes. Tell you motor near the other. One of the year of and they were to pay each person 35 million. Sikadadam. Can you imagine this?
So why are you not using the new money? You are
that is 3,500.
Why are you not using
You see the mischief. 3,500. Multimedia money happened. This is the copy of the document.
We had it, but probably they yeah.
And this year,
oh, 35 million.
That is 3,500. Ghana Habisa, community allied crew, and I said, Ubisa said, Ubisian motor car, and I imagine Ukutu 3,500.
This corruption, no. The fiber assessment.
No, and our cost was and a bed, you be too about with you. But and then you meet now, you could be 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'm your member until if you are, your course our meeting. I believe, say.
Bibia into the no.
Bibia call us in dream.
Allah is being good.
No, wait a while. All over there.
Captain Smart, but the fetch, Debra. That's it. Captain Smart. Over Onkasa. Adom FM. Youth in
on a mannequin.
Maintenance room.
Yeah, Chiro said you treat can actually say there. Yes.
Different from the
in any case, the job was not being done. The job was not done, but the payment was made.
Youth in transportation services. Equip youth with technical skills in the use and maintenance of motorcycles. Or motorcycles.
And the
youth in transportation services. Equip youth with the technical skills in the use and maintenance of motorcycles.
Oh, no.
How do you use I'm not in defense of anybody. But what he said does not, what he said, this document does not support what he said. Or say, no. But what you read,
and technical skills.
To equip them with technical skills.
What technical?
Because maybe Kinkaino, basically, and also about 35 million cities. And maybe about the train. But Kinka always issues about maintenance and technical skills.
No, but what is technical skills? Technical skills is referring to the right. What is he talking about?
A Jumano, yeah, say. But our problem with even the model.
No, but for me, this is not a bad idea. Because it's not a repairment. Ghana Police Service, I'm saying it to an authority. One workshop equipment, one of the Ghana Police Service. I want the PRO to come on air.
Listen. Don't go off. Okay. Or say, you bet Chirel said you pee. Yes. Not the use you want to use and maintain and then please. Yeah, but Captain Yamutre. Yes, I have simple English. Yes, you have a chon your mammies. Yeah, but you say it's a mimi banana say, you're from Colombia. How do you test? No, how would you test? One country fit of winning Kaka. I'm a say, yeah, Chile said you cheap motor. Yeah, but I said, yeah, repair. There's a big no, the use no. Oh, no, no, almost said the now they can count okay, you better tell said the repair no that is okay. Don't pay the fit as you say. It is here. Adom